If you're not post-abortive, you need to understand, so often it wasn't a choice. Many women are coerced, one way or another. Often overtly by the father of the baby, sometimes by physical violence, or the threat of it, or the threat of just leaving. Or overtly by his silence, or his support of whatever decision she makes. If she's a teenager living at home, often she's coerced by her parents.
You know, I read a stat where 95% of abortions, the men are involved in that decision. And oftentimes, the female feels as if they are in crisis. They feel there's no other choice. There's a decision that is not made in grace or holiness. It's a decision that's made out of fear, complete fear. And they don't see any other way out. And then, of course, everybody around them is telling them, this is the way to go. Have the abortion. Your life will be better. All your problems will be ended. This is the answer to this crisis. And, when we call this movement a pro-choice, it's not what we see on our retreats.
It's really the unchoice. It's like elections in the old Soviet Union. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union boasted that they had free elections, just like America did. And they really did have free elections. There was only one name on the ballot, but every citizen was free to come and vote for that one person. That's not really a choice, is it? If there's only one option, it's not a choice. A choice, by definition, needs at least two options. Most abortive people we've talked to don't feel like they had a choice.
It is very rare to hear stories of how I made this decision in a vacuum because of my career, or I thought it was the best thing for me. There is always some form of coercion going, or almost always some form of coercion going on. And the thing about it is that coercion can take very insidious and subtle forms too. There's the obvious ones like husband, boyfriend, parents, doing everything they can to force the decision on these women. But there's economic coercion. The fear of losing a job, the fear of having education interrupted. There is just the sheer coercion of fear and shame. I'm the daughter of a pastor of my church. I can't be pregnant as a teenager. That's a subtle form of coercion because she has in her mind that, I will be ostracized from my community. I will be shamed if I carry this pregnancy to term. I will hide it. I will get rid of it. It'll be taken care of. So it's when thinking about coercion, it's important to factor in all the forms in which coercion can take. Again, it's almost always a decision made out of desperation rather than convenience. And I think understanding that helps generate compassion on our end. When we understand that, it wasn't just a craven decision, my body, my choice kind of thing. That's what gets the noisy headlines in terms of the politics of it, of the pro-abortion side of the political argument. But the reality is, it's more often than not a choice made out of desperation because of particular circumstances. And when you understand that, it doesn't condone what happened, but it puts it in the proper context and makes it much easier to be sympathetic, to have true, deep compassion, and to understand why there is suffering.
Famous feminist Frederica Matthews-Green said, "No woman wants an abortion as she wants an ice cream cone or a Porsche. She wants an abortion as an animal caught in a trap wants to gnaw off its own leg." That's the part of the quote you'll hear in the media. It turns up in pro-abortion advocate material, and it's a true statement. When an animal is caught in a trap, it gnaws off its own leg because in doing so, it thinks that's the only chance it has to survive. I can either gnaw off my own leg and hobble through the rest of my life on 3 limbs, or I can die right here when the hunter goes back. But that's not really a choice, is it? Here's the rest of the quote you won't hear in the media. Frederica Matthews-Green went on to say, "Abortion is a tragic attempt to escape a desperate situation by an act of violence and self-loss. Abortion is not a sign that women are free, but a sign that they are desperate. Wow.
Ironically enough, the decisions are, if they are made at the, with somebody else of influence you, typically it's the father of the child. Soon after that abortion, the female will feel a great sense of abandonment. Like, he was supposed to protect me, he was supposed to protect our child. And then the father of the baby is also feeling like, when they go through and start really understanding their part in it, they'll feel that same, I didn't protect my child. I didn't protect my spouse or my girlfriend. And there's a high rate of the breakup within probably a year of the abortion, because those feelings of grief and unresolvement and abandonment and resent and anger just cannot be resolved, while they're still together and not getting the healing.